Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. So today we have a pretty long video. A lot has been going on, so we have a lot to cover. No house items for today. I'm back in my studio. I still have some things I have to take care of and get together, but I do have my studio again. So with that being said, I'm not gonna hold y'all. We got a long ass video. I ain't gonna lie, it's a long video. I tried to condense it. I tried to make it short, but I couldn't tell you nothing else. So without any further ado, go grab whatever it is that you need to chill with me, and let's get to the content. So let's go.
I really think that we're towards the end of time. I don't think humanity, I know this sounds crazy to people, but I think that based on the signs of the end of the world in Christianity and Islam is very specific, by the way. Some of the signs in Islam, when buildings touch the sky in the Arab world, he said, the day will come where the pagan Arabs, but the Arabs will make buildings that touch the sky. And as soon as they build one, they'll build another, and they'll compete with each other. Now Saudi Arabia is building the biggest building on earth, and they're going to boast about it. He said this 1400 years ago. He said the day will come when dishes communicate. They're going to talk to each other and families will be torn apart. The word he used back then is the word that the Arabs use today for satellite television, bro. Dishes will talk. He said they're going to hang up mats on their walls. Like, you have this TV, it looks like he's like, they're going to hang them up. And he used his hands. He made like a rectangle. They're going to put them on the wall, and it's going to destroy their souls, because all you see on it is filth, Danny. These are his words, bro. You read these prophecies, they're amazing, man. He said men will become women, women will become men. He said that you just got to go study the signs of the end of the world and Christianity and Islam. It'll blow your mind away.
How do you think we went down this path, though? Do you think there at some point there was a fork in the road where we could have gone down another path?
Following desire, Danny. What I was trying to say earlier is that why did God make the angels bow to humanity? Because when a human being, out of their own free will, chooses to submit their desires to follow the Creator, they are higher than the angel, because the angel cannot sin. That's why the devil was not a fallen angel. The devil had free will. When a human being acts according to the gift that God gave them, which is intelligence, they are higher than all of creation. When a human being only acts upon desire, eating, drinking, all there is to life, man? Eating, right? Tony Montana said in the restaurant. Is this all there is to life, huh? Eating, drinking. I can't even have a little kill with her, man. I got a zombie for a wife. We become zombies, bro, because all we do is follow our desire. Eat, drink, no one else, nothing else. We become lower than the animals, because animals act like that. Animals don't they don't have intellect. They only have instinct and desire. They eat, drink, that's all, and it's scary. They call us consumers, cattle. When a human being only follows their desires, they are lower than the animals.
Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. I agree. I completely agree. And when we operate on desires and just not logically and thinking about the situation, it always become a detriment. So, but y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Let's go.
April 21st. After you watch this video, you'll understand why things are happening the way that they are. Has today surprised you by chance? By the way, it's not for the faint-hearted. I meant to post this a few days ago because I felt something huge coming in our near future, which 13 days of preparation, the occult significance of April 19th to May 1st. May 1st, May Day. 5-1. Alright, let's get into it because we got a lot of things connect. So you know who this is. Baal or Moloch, they're both the same. April 19th is the first day of a 13-day satanic ritual related to fire. The fire god, Baal, Moloch, Nimrod, the sun god, the Roman god, Saturn, etc. It's a day where they demand a certain kind of praise, certain kind of worship having to do with fire. And people that are a bit younger. Trust me, this video is going to get deeper and deeper every time we go to a new picture. So who is this? This is Telegram's founder. Oh, you thought Telegram was somehow different? Even more satanic, this was shot on Passover Sunday with him in a stable with goats. He said Happy Easter, the day of freedom and rebirth. You know that his celebration is a complete inversion, right? Now we had that crazy breaking news earlier, and right before that, Vance was over there and he told him right to his face, I've been praying for you. But mark your calendar, a smiley face will appear in the sky on April 25th. By the way, all these pictures are real, they're just remastered for better viewing. For some reason, this account right here, which will remain anonymous because it's trying to deceive people as well, said we're 24 hours from an event that would change the world, April 19th, 2025. Do you see the crosses on these buildings? It's just absolutely fascinating. Fascinating. Oh look, he's doing magic with his hand. That's just what all the cool guys are doing, right? Completely irrelevant, just like the whole video. It's all just irrelevant, you know, but she was actually born on April 21st. Have you been noticing all the mega satanic things we've been seeing around the world for weeks, for months? Yes, for a long time, but it's significantly worse in the 90s. Almost exponentially worse, it is. A few weeks ago I came across this picture and I shared it on my Facebook. I thought it was so significant how this doomsday fish with the head of a horse, like the horseman of the apocalypse, was found after these doomsday fish have been coming up everywhere for months now. And before that you would never see them, and if you did, you better look out because it meant something big. And yes, I did verify the picture. The hand could look like that for many different reasons. So you mean to tell me a doomsday fish with the head of a horse, the horseman of Revelation, just pops up right now at all times? That's insanely coincidental. And deep in that rabbit hole, you'll find a crazy parallel. Because right now, we are allegedly in the middle of a man-made prophecy. When the 112th holy person would come and go, after that, there'd be judgment. Yes, this video is old, but it shows evil right in front of your face. Anyways, what do y'all make of all of these things happening like this simultaneously? And by the way, the timer app has been giving me a problem, so if you see this on your For You page, let me know. And finally, do you know what day everything around us is going to change?
Well, Beltane and being that my birthday is May 1st, that has stuck out to me to find out that was a satanic holiday, and then find out about Beltane. And I learned about Beltane through finding out about Beyonce and Lemonade, because she did release Lemonade, I think on the 21st of April or around that time, in Beltane time frame too. So if you guys go back and look at my Beyonce video, you guys will see that. But yeah, it's crazy, huh? Like, it all just be connected and it all just be together. Things that make you go,
Have you heard of the Pope's Audience Hall? It lies partially in Vatican City and partially in Rome. Have a look at the image below and compare its shape to the image of a snake beside it. Note the overall shape: wide back, narrow, rounded front, eyes in the middle, nostril at the front, and curved top. In the image above, there are two windows on either side of the building that resemble eyes. So let's have a look at both of them together now. All of a sudden, we begin to see things taking shape here. Two reptilian eyes staring at you as you observe the stage. What do you notice down the center? Either side, two sharp, pointed fangs. The building's roof and sides also resemble scales. Really pay attention to the whole building and stage layout next to the image of a snake. The eyes, the shape, the scales, the fangs. In the middle of the stage sits a statue of Christ rising from an atomic apocalypse. Do you notice anything about Jesus' head? It's difficult to see from the front, but when you view the statue from the sides, it becomes strikingly clear from both sides that the head of Jesus is meant to look like that of a snake. There's an obvious reason for this imagery. Why was this building built in such a way that the Pope appears to be speaking from the mouth of a reptile?
Why?
Have you ever seen the statue of Jesus the Vatican has? The Vatican says their statue is of Jesus rising from a nuclear war. When I grew up, we had statues of Jesus that looked like this, even though Jesus wasn't a white guy, but that's a different story. I don't remember anywhere in the Bible talking about Jesus surviving a nuclear war. There's something fishy to this, Booshkies. Something fishy. Shabadoo.
Tell me what y'all think in the comments. I don't know. Make it make sense. Let's keep going.
Pope Francis opens 5 sacred portals on Christmas Eve. The next day, he opens the tomb of St. Peter. St. Peter was an apostle of Jesus and the first pope. He was also crucified, but upside down, per his request. In fact, the cross of St. Peter is the upside down cross. Then Katy Perry and her little girl gang go up to space, or pretend to. The Pope is celebrating Easter yesterday with everyone. Today, at age 88, Pope Francis passed away on Easter Monday. Why am I the only one to think that this is all connected? I know, I make no sense. It makes no sense. But do y'all remember when the Pope opened the door of the Basilica of San Pietro? You remember that? Remember that look on his face? That aha moment, where you understand everything. You see it clearly, but you can't say it. I have 2 words for you. Spiritual war.
A lot of people do not know the Vatican made a contract, an actual contract was signed with the King of England back in the Middle Ages, where the Pope said that he declared himself the Vicar of Christ. The word vicar in Latin simply means someone who stands in for someone else. According to the Vatican concept that God created the whole heavens and he created the earth, he gave the earth to Jesus, his son, and so consequently Jesus owns the earth and everything on it. But since Jesus is not here right now, somebody has to run the earth. So consequently, the Pope is going to stand in for him till he gets here. A lot of people are totally unaware of this contract between Rome and the King of England to rule the world. And at that time, the people who were called English became known as British. British comes from a Hebrew word, berith. In Hebrew, the word berith is a contract or a covenant. And ish in Hebrew means man or men, can be singular or plural. Therefore, berith ish, contract man, or man of the contract, or British, the man of the contract. This is why in the Western world, anything you're going to do in business requires a contract. That's the way the Vatican set it up.
It sounds like the way the mafia works.
That's exactly right, to put a contract on you.
I mean, tell me what y'all think in the comments. Woo! We cooking, huh? I guess he didn't want Trump caressing his hand, but that's kind of odd, huh?
Black Pope. The Black Pope is near, the prophecy and the possible successor of Francis. Rumors are swirling that due to Pope Francis's health issues, a Black Pope of African origin could be one of the top candidates to succeed him, or even according to some sources, the most likely one. It is said that he would take over after the passing of the pontiff. This has reignited uncertainty around an ancient prophecy, a prophecy that warns that on the day a Black Pope arrives at the Vatican, it will mark the beginning of the end times. However, according to this prediction, this would not happen until a Pope first resigned from his position. Remember, Benedict XVI resigned before Francis took over. And now, after his pontificate, this Black Pope of African origin could be the successor. Could this be a sign that the prophecy is nearing fulfillment? Are we approaching the end times as the prophecy suggests? What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
The news of...
I mean, what do y'all think? Are we approaching the end times? Are we in the end times? But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments, because I mean, we're cooking. Are we not? We're cooking. Let's keep going.
Have you heard the Pope prophecy?
No.
Have you heard that?
No.
Yo, this is This is like the scariest shit because it's real. So in the Vatican, they found this book, right? And this book, it predicted every single one of the popes that became pope.
Really?
Literally every single one. Now, this guy, he said after the middle one, 422 years later, that's when the last pope will be named. That's what he said, okay?
Yeah.
Check this out. Every single pope has been named in it. Even the most recent one. What's crazy is, if you go to the Vatican, there's places where you put the pictures of the Pope. They have for every single one they ever had. And they only have space for one more. So, in the book it says, once they put the face of the last Pope in that place, the judgment day will come. That's what they're saying.
Is there like a time like that they said, or just like whenever?
Check this out, right? So remember I said, have you heard the...
Hit me in the comments, y'all. We cooking. Let's go.
Malachi Morguer was nothing less than a saint. But despite his faith in the mercy of God, he was forced to bear witness to a terrifying vision of divine wrath. A biblical apocalypse that he predicted would occur in our time. Malachi Morguer was the first Irish saint to be canonized by a pope. He was known to have some supernatural miracles associated with him. He's most famous now for his prophecy of the popes. In 1139, Malachi made a pilgrimage to Rome to visit the Pope. While ascending one of the city's fabled 7 hills, he was struck by a revelation from God. And the story goes that he fell into a trance. All that night, he would mention these Latin phrases. De meditate lumen, flors florum, pastor et nautua, de laboris solis. Each one of these Latin phrases would match up to the reign of a particular pope. And in that vision, he saw 112 popes up until the tribulation time, to the end. And according to St. Malachi's prediction, this end time, following the reign of the 112th Pope, is right around the corner. We're at 111 now. Pope Benedict XVI is 111. If Malachi's vision was true prophecy, there will be only one more Pope to follow Benedict XVI, who turned 85 in 2012. In other words, our time may be running out. But why should we believe him? Malachi didn't just predict the number of popes before the end of the world. He also predicted who they would be with startling precision. And what you find is an accuracy, I would say, that exceeds 80%, which I can tell you, that got me fascinated by these prophecies, and that he's one of the greatest prophets I've ever encountered. What makes it amazing is it gets more accurate as it gets to the end of the list. In fact, some of the ones more recently are quite astonishing. You have Benedict XV, who is called by Malachi Religio Depopulata, which means religion devastated or depopulated. In his reign, the Christian faith was decimated. 25 million people dying from World War I. It's also the time of the Bolshevik Revolution in Russia. And scholars say that 200 million left the Russian Orthodox Church to join the Communist Party.
Pope that brought a South American idol into the church to worship.
Really?
He did, the Pachamama. He brought the South American, and he got...
I don't know what that is.
It's kind of like a South American god, Pachamama.
Why would he do that?
Good question. But he did.
Did he have an explanation for why he did it?
Yeah, it's kind of a weasel-worded thing of like, all religions are just as good as one another. But, if that's his contention...
He shouldn't be the Pope.
No.
How can he be the Pope if say all religions are just as good?
Yeah, we all worship So, yeah, there's the Pachamama. There you go.
So he brought that in.
Yeah, into the Vatican. Then the hierarchy even worshipped. They had a ceremony around it outside.
What?
So, that constitutes apostasy.
Yeah.
That's an apostasy move, all right?
Worshipping false gods.
So Vatican II happened, and of course they took the church and they reformed it, and they changed things in it. and it didn't necessarily agree with everything that went before it.
Do you think there's a motive behind these things?
I don't think you, well, probably.
What do you think it is?
I don't know, but it isn't good.
Well, I can say this. It does talk about with the one world government, one world religion, one world currency with the new world order. So that would kind of line up. And I think it's called interfaith. Is that what it's called now? When everything come together, it would kind of line up with the end times.
Isn't good.
There are things that are bigger than just coincidence.
Sold my soul to the devil.
That's what a ritual is.
I swear to Lucifer. I think the label went bankrupt, and so I sold my soul to the devil.
Sold my soul to the devil. A ritual is something that you do over and over and over again a certain way. You don't care how people feel about the ritual. It's about just following the ritual work. You can fool yourself into thinking there isn't one, but the evidence will be clear.
Hey, so you know that if you were to sell your soul to the devil, you can have instant fame tomorrow. He actually said those words.
Satanism is Satanism.
A lot of people that doubt what you say don't read. Books are my life.
Comment book to learn more about consciousness.
Look into Faustian bargains, but this is what they have to do. They have to sacrifice stuff. They have to perform rituals. They have to do this in order to keep moving up, in order to keep gaining and keep leveling up. So, but look into it. Faustian bargain. Here's the spelling of it. Look into it, you guys. Let's keep going. Let's go.
Religion depopulated. After him comes the papal giant, John Paul II, who is called De Laboris Solis, which means the sun's labor through eclipse. He was born in 1920 on a total eclipse.
Then when he died, he was actually buried during a solar eclipse as well. Obviously, people can't manipulate eclipses, so apparently Malachi really did see a vision of the future, and you would have to be divinely inspired, I would say, for it to match that accurately. That seems to be a little more than coincidence.
Malachi's prophetic precision continues with the current Pope, Benedict XVI.
Number 111, the final numbered motto, and that is De Gloria Olivae, the glory of the olive, or from the glory of the olive. There is a group of Benedictines called the Olivetans. Their symbol is the olive branch.
The glory of the olive would be the highest ranking among them, and there he is. And we thought, Malachi's correct again. And now there's only one more pope in the line. We are very close to the end of this prophecy.
Woo! I split that video up in half for copyright purposes, but I mean, I must say he's spot on. And even what we doing now, like what the Pope, yeah, I mean, I don't have no words. Let's just keep going, y'all, because I mean, it's right there. Right there. And we're back. So I had to change my shirt. I had a slight wardrobe malfunction. My other shirt was really irritating the hell out of me, and I didn't want to have to keep pulling at it and tugging at it while we were doing our video. So I just decided to change the shirt. So I am back, and let's keep it going. Let's go.
How the Jesuits continue to deceive the world. Must watch.
And if I cannot do it openly, I will do it secretly. That is what a Jesuit swears. This is the famous Pontifical Gregorian University in Rome, the most prestigious Catholic university in the world. The Jesuits, in all their enclaves, have their figures in caves. Now, in paganism, all the deities come out of the cave, and they have the letters IHS, which actually stand for Isis, Horus, Set, which is the Egyptian Trinity. They, of course, say it means Jesus hominum salvator, Jesus the Savior of men, but it doesn't. It means IHS, Isis, Horus, Set. And their symbol is the triangle with the all-seeing eye in it for this deity. They also use the pillar, the stela, if you like. They have the symbol of the triangle with the eye in a circle, which is also the symbol used in the New Age movement. And we saw that Gary Carr says that Freemasonry controls the New Age movement and the Jesuits control the Freemasonry, or created it. This is the University of the Jesuits in Prague. On top of it they have Atlas, not Jesus Christ. If you go to a more modern Jesuit enclave like this one in Germany, I visited this. I'm quite cheeky sometimes, there I am. And took a picture, and inside they have this picture of Christ. This is not Christ, this is Atlas, holding the world on top of his shoulders, disguised. They have these symbols up against the wall. There, this symbol is the symbol of Hermes. If you take away the cross, then you have the symbol of Isis. This is paganism at its best. And these symbols over here are nothing. Here it is, Jesuit Kirche, when it was built, etc. And their symbolism, Maria, the M is the Masonic M, the triangle, Ria, the goddess. Here is a church in Germany, a cathedral. Inside you will see this circle with a cross in it, the crossed swords, symbol of all symbols used also in Freemasonry. Now if you go back to ancient Assyria, that was a very prominent cross. It was the Maltese cross. It comes from ancient paganism. They have the symbols of the star over here, two stars one over the other, or two crosses one over the other. They have the compass, they have the moon with a disc in it or a star in it, which is the symbol that Islam uses, for example. They have the solar calendar and the Triple Crown. All of these are used by the papacy. Upside down crosses represent victory over Christ. Hammers and compasses and sickles, these are symbols that are prevalent in the world. There's Jesus standing above the skull and crossbones, which is a symbol of Jupiter, the god Jupiter, who is a symbol, of course, who is Lucifer. Upside down crosses again. This is a very important cathedral in Europe, in Germany, where all the political leaders come together. If you go there, you will have Janus, the two-headed one. And then you have the statue so-called of David. But of course it isn't David, it is the god Pan, because he has a pan flute in his hand, and David didn't play a pan flute. So I went to look for the dark side of Pan, because there's a light side and a dark side, and I found him. There he is, the hoofed one in the same cathedral. They hide their occult symbolism. If you enter into the hallway, you find this over here. This is the god Anubis. It's got nothing to do with Christianity. There you have him as well. Plus you have the phoenix rising from the ashes. Plus you have the symbol of Jupiter and a whole host of other symbols over there. And in their side chapel, you have all the signs of the zodiac serving the various deities like Mars and Aquarius, etc. And the doorknob is a yin-yang. This has nothing to do with Christianity. They use the symbol of the compass and Jupiter and the PX symbol over there, which you will find in virtually every single Christian denomination upon the face of the earth. The phoenix rising from the ashes, the peacock, all symbols of Lucifer. Here you have the PX with a circle with a dot in it, and you say to yourself, but isn't that a symbol of Christianity? No, this is a symbol of Horus. This has got nothing to do with Christianity. They use pine cones. Let's ask Albert Mackey, 33-degree Freemason, to tell us what the symbol means. The point within the circle is an interesting and important symbol in Freemasonry. The symbol is really a beautiful but somewhat abstruse allusion to the old sun worship, and introduces us for the first time to that modification of it among the ancients, the worship of the phallus. It's a pretty filthy symbol at that. It deals with male organs. Wow. So that comes from the horse's mouth. That's what it means. Now what's the PX mean?
Whoa. I mean, I'm going to be honest, y'all. That threw me for a loop, because I've been seeing, don't mind if y'all hear my kids in the back, they're home for their spring break and they're playing, but I've been seeing IHS over the crucifixion all my life. So to find out Isis Horus Set messed me up. And Skull and Crossbones is actually a fraternity at Yale, which had a lot of the presidents, the Bushes, I know for sure. But look into Skull and Crossbones, and then the circle with the dot. One of my favorite places to go, Target. Although Target's creative director, I heard, is a Satanist. So, Target, I'm looking at you side eye. Target. Let's keep going though.
When you're powerful and more powerful than certain men, it can kind of make it be like, if you don't go with anything that they say, she's this, she's that, she's that, she's da 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 da. So, and she didn't sacrifice herself with witchcraft, right? And for real, like right. She's been approached to elevate to the next level.
Oh, that's a real thing.
Oh, that's a real thing, bro. That's a real, like, witchcraft, voodoo, juju, all of that is a real thing.
To get to the next level in career.
Absolutely. Wow. Absolutely. Yes. Wow. It's a real thing. So she's been presented opportunities like, hey, this is what we do. This is how we move. This is the things that you have to do to get to this level by top execs. And she was like, I'm not with it. And then also she wasn't going to sleep her way to the top.
Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Woo!
I believe there's rituals. We know that from Solomon's temple, they learned the ancient arts of black magic, that it was buried under his temple. Legend has it the Knights of Templar went down there and found it, and that's kind of how this all started. We don't know for certain, but we know that there was manuscripts. We know that Solomon told his people at that time that were practicing the arts, black magic. It's mentioned in the Quran that there's black magic that can separate a man from his wife. We know that the devil has an army that he has armies, bro, legions, that literally focus on certain types of sin. One of his armies only focuses on divorce. One of his armies only focuses on murder. Every day they come back. We know his throne is on water, based on the Islamic tradition. Some of the scholars believe it's either the Devil's Sea, literally, or the Bermuda Triangle. We know that the devil's throne is on water, on this earth. Different dimension, but on this earth, from the Abrahamic perspective. There is, in my opinion, a true agenda because of people like this that were very influential in our world, bro, to deny these people, to deny Aleister Crowley, his impact, the people that were around him on modern science, on rocketry, on all this stuff, bro. We would not have this technology without satellites. It all goes back to this guy.
Why would the Antichrist give Jack Parsons the technology or the idea to create rockets?
I don't know, but what I do know is if they're doing weird rituals, if they're doing sacrifices, whatever the fuck, none of us were there, brother. There's crazy shit going on this earth, bro. There's a lot of kids missing, bro. There's a lot of things we can't explain, bro, that people are trying to wake people like, yo guys, this is not normal. You're seeing shit in award shows and music and the one eye, which by the way, the symbol in Islam for the Antichrist is one eye. Why do they all do this shit? And it's in your face. It's the eye of Re, bro, the sun god, bro. It's all there, man, the information. It took years, and I really don't feel like I did this justice the way I was intending, because it's a very complicated subject, and it can seem like you're out of your mind and you're crazy, and I would just tell people who don't understand what I'm saying, who might think I'm like off the wall, I don't take any drugs, I don't drink alcohol, I'm not crazy. It's hard to explain something in such a condensed amount of time. I told you in the beginning of this, please don't take anything I say for real until you go study yourselves. Don't take what I'm saying. I'm just giving you some cliff notes from my life of what I believe is going on and what I think is going to happen, and I think what's coming for all of us, brother. I believe there's rituals. We know that from...
So, with Satan's kingdom being on water, Marine Kingdom is a thing. Look into Marine Kingdom, which would be kind of like the same as the mermaids or like things like that. I know it sounds far-fetched. I know, because trust me, when I first started this journey, I thought the same thing. I was like, what the hell? But when you start to look at everything in totality, you start realizing like the truth is a little stranger. But once you start realizing, it's like, yeah, you can't deny it. The one-eye symbolism, he said red. Well, I'm not sure exactly the dialect, but some of my dialect, I would say I of Ra, or Amin Ra, with Aleister Crowley. Look into him. He's really big in the occult, and Jack Parsons was very big in developing the rocket ships, and also him and the guy that started Scientology, they were really into doing this ritual in the woods to bring into I think it's the Star Child. It's with Donald Trump, but they didn't know back then who the child was going to be. But I'm going to remind myself to put that in my next video about Donald Trump being the child that was born after Jack Parsons and the L. Ron Hubbard, and that's the guy with Scientology. I think it's another one. I can't think of the name right now. But they did a ritual in the woods to bring in this Antichrist type of thing. I'm not saying that Trump is Antichrist. I think I said that before, but look into it, y'all. But let's keep going.
I believe there's rituals. We know that from Solomon's temple, they learned the ancient arts of black magic, that it was buried under his temple. Legend has it the Knights of Templar went down there and found it, and that's kind of how this all started. We don't know for certain, but we know that there was manuscripts. We know that Solomon told his people at that time that were practicing the arts, black magic. It's mentioned in the Quran that there's black magic that can separate a man from his wife. We know that the devil has an army that he has armies, bro, legions, that literally focus on certain types of sin. One of his armies only focuses on divorce. One of his armies only focuses on murder. Every day they come back. We know his throne is on water, based on the Islamic tradition. Some of the scholars believe it's either the Devil's Sea, literally, or the Bermuda Triangle. We know that the devil's throne is on water, on this earth. Different dimension, but on this earth, from the Abrahamic perspective. There is, in my opinion, a true agenda because of people like this that were very influential in our world, bro, to deny these people, to deny Aleister Crowley, his impact, the people that were around him on modern science, on rocketry, on all this stuff, bro. We would not have this technology without satellites. It all goes back to this guy.
Why would the Antichrist give Jack Parsons the technology or the idea to create rockets?
I don't know, but what I do know is if they're doing weird rituals, if they're doing sacrifices, whatever the fuck, none of us were there, brother. There's crazy shit going on this earth, bro. There's a lot of kids missing, bro. There's a lot of things we can't explain, bro, that people are trying to wake people yo, guys, this is not normal. You're seeing shit in award shows and music and the one eye, which by the way, the symbol in Islam for the Antichrist is one eye.
Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. They do kind of look the same, but I did tell you guys in the last video that I was going to put something in here in regards to Lady Gaga and Lena Morgana. So y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Let's go.
Beyonce and Jay-Z might be swapping Hollywood Hills for Cotswolds Hills. Yep, according to reports, they've fallen in love with the British countryside and are eyeing up a permanent move to the UK. Word is they've been renting a luxury pad near Chipping Norton and are now scouting properties to buy. Imagine bumping into Bey at the village market or Jay-Z walking a dog past Soho farmhouse. It's giving quiet luxury and honestly same.
Respectfully, no. Didn't Ellen DeGeneres just recently move to the UK too? I noticed they may be trying to get out of Dodge because, you know, the Diddy stuff going on, but you know, I have my theories. Let's keep going. Let's go.
We ain't finna act like we ain't see what Kanye just said. This man really typed out, I sucked on my cousin Wood till I was 14. Y'all, look at this shit. This is what this man typed out, y'all. This shit crazy, fool. So y'all see how Kanye said he seen magazines, but his mother had different joints. So I'm guessing they were magazines and probably DVDs. I don't know about y'all, but when I was young, I seen magazines and DVDs too with my brodies, my brothers. But not once did we ever think about acting out on each other. When we seen that shit, we wanted to act out on the biddies. I ain't never look at my brother and say, hey, let me your wood. Or to my cousin, let me your wood. That shit diabolical, y'all. So he said his cousin was 6. So how old was you? And what you saying, so you victimized your cousin. So I'm guessing you and your cousin had a hard time because you said your cousin is in jail for life for a pregnant lady, and you said it's because you told him that y'all couldn't view magazines anymore, or you couldn't act on the stuff you was doing to him. If y'all want to see a longer video, make sure you tap into the tube. This shit finna get dark.
Let me start with this. I heard that Kanye has recently said that he's in rehab. If he is, kudos to him. I don't really know what to say. I don't want to say anything wrong in the aspect of if he's exposing his truth, you know, his cleansing is always good, but that's what they make journals for. Some stuff should be in your journal. Because we may not have needed to know that. Kudos to you for getting the help if you're in rehab. I understand it's, you know, reveal, deal, and then heal. I get that. But revealing doesn't necessarily mean to reveal it to the public. Revealing could just be like writing it on a piece of paper and throwing it in the lake, or, you know, something like that. You have to tell everybody everything. Just saying. But kudos to him for, you know, going, you know, taking the steps to become a better man. Even if it was TMI.
My spirit had been calling me to speak on this topic. I wasn't even going to speak on this, but this is like dead serious right now. And I know who need to hear this. You. Don't never let nobody tell you you need to go back to a situation that wasn't serving you if they wasn't there to see the situation and how it was playing out. So when somebody tell me, man, you need to go back and do this and go back and do that, I was on drugs. My skin wasn't glowing. I wasn't working out. I was unhealthy. I was depressed. I wasn't happy. My cameraman told me something that made me, I said, man, send me a picture with my mouth closed. He say, it's hard, bro, because you just been smiling so much lately. I'm happy. On the inside. On the inside, I'm happy. Because I'm close to God. The closer you get to God, the more you have. The further away you get from God, the less you have. So I don't care what man say. Man don't make, hey, my creator woke me up. My creator is pleased with me. I did the right thing in the eyes of God. So fuck who don't like how I'm living right now. And fuck who don't like how you living. Do what serves you. And you owe nobody no explanation for being great. We in the great divide. You either vibrate low or you choose to vibrate high. Yes, Lord. Yes, Lord.
This Shannon Sharpe lawsuit is getting real messy. And now the Jane Doe that Shannon Sharpe name dropped when he released all of her text messages, released an audio of Shannon Sharpe allegedly saying that he was going to choke her. And Shannon Sharpe has alleged that they are probably going to put out a very intimate tape of the two of them. Child, that is why I waited, because I already knew that when Shannon Sharpe dropped these text messages from the Jane Doe, this dispute was going to be far from over. Now, this lawsuit was filed by Tony Buzbee on behalf of the Jane Doe that Shannon Sharpe outed as a girl named Gabrielle. And Tony Busby put out a statement reacting to Shannon Sharpe leaking the text messages from that Jane Doe before they put out the audio that the Jane Doe had of Shannon Sharpe. And Tony Busby is saying that the statements made last night from Shannon Sharpe's lawyer about there being an edited video is false. And he is saying since they wanted to take this public, now they are going to address all of the allegations that they said in the statement last night. Tony Busby confirms that there is allegedly a very damning video that does exist. Tony Busby said that they are going to play this video for the jury and it's going to speak volumes about Shannon Sharpe and it's very problematic for him and his team. Tony Busby also says that Shannon Sharpe only released these text messages to get the public's attention away from the allegations that surround him, and he is claiming that the text messages are dated prior to the essay that the Jane Doe is accusing him of. And I do have to say that these text messages between Shannon Sharpe and this Jane Doe are pretty wild when I read about a big baby and $25K for each cheek, but that's their preference. Whatever. Now to Tony Busby's point, Shannon Sharpe did release these messages, and in these messages it is saying that he read this on January 1st of 2025, and in the Jane Doe's lawsuit, she is alleging that the first instance of essay happened January 2nd of 2025. Then Tony Busby starts saying that he actually contacted Shannon Sharpe back in February to basically mediate this case without it being filed as a public lawsuit. Tony Busby said that during this mediation, Shannon Sharpe was represented by different lawyers in that mediation, and the mediation process went on for more than 6 weeks, ultimately leading to Shannon Sharpe allegedly making an incredible significant offer to settle the dispute, basically to settle before the public lawsuit was filed and everybody knows what's being accused. Tony Busby is saying ultimately the Jane Doe refused the hefty sum offered by Shannon Sharpe and instead filed this lawsuit. Tony Busby then goes on to claim that prior to engaging in the mediation process, Shannon Sharpe's counsel insisted that the Jane Doe sign a confidentiality.
They always do that. I didn't let it keep going because it's pretty long. But yeah, those text messages is wild. And some of the things in the voice recording of their conversation of him saying he was on a choker and stuff was wild. I'm not going to sit in judgment, but I just know that there's a wild situation and we just going to see how it play out. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the comments. Keep going.
About the way that talk about the new flesh-eating vulva virus that is going around that literally causes sepsis and necrosis of your genitalia and appears to eat away at it before basically unaliving you, and it's sexually transmitted. You get it from having intercourse. And once you get it, you will catch sepsis from it and you will be no more. I don't think I need to explain to you how bad this is, but I will anyway. So this is a flesh-eating vulva infection, and it has already been 3 cases reported, and they're saying gynecologists now need to know the signs, and you should too. So doctors in the UK are warning gynecologists of the risk of necrotinizing fasciitis on the external genitalia, and it's seeing several severe cases. In a new case published April 8th in the Journal for BM Case Reports, UK doctors described 3 patients who were found to have this necrotinizing fasciitis of the vulva. Ladies, we know what the vulva is. Vulva includes the external female genitalia such as the labia, and the labia, So NF, also known as the flesh-eating disease, can arise when certain bacteria enter the skin through a wound, cut, abrasion, burn, surgical wound, or at this point, even a fucking insect bite. Mr. Sullivan, who is a professor of microbiology at the immunology at Indiana University, go my school, that NF can occur anywhere skin or tissue is breached, including genitalia. Go on to say that this is being spread through SE, you know what, and once it's on there, those little mites eat away at your vulva and everything involved. So ladies, if there was another time to like not touch men, now would be the time. Okay, bye. Talk about the new
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't know how people sleep around like that. Like now, it's just so scary. And yeah, that's a bit much. Keep it Yep, just keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. You know, like this ain't the time to be just experimenting, world. It ain't even much. And as my mama used to say back in the day, half of them don't even know what they be doing. So why? Look, it ain't even that serious. Hell no. Oh my. Yeesh. Let's keep going though, y'all.
Y'all, the whole world is a stage, man. Like, after seeing this video, if y'all don't see that, I don't know what to tell you, man. So if you guys didn't know, Blue Origin, which is Jeff Bezos' space company, so Jeff Bezos has a space company now, right? So they take a group of all women into space, and this thing is just not adding up. Just like every other mission that they said they went to space, it's not adding up. And then I saw nobody was really showing pictures or videos of the spaceship that they went up in space with. It was just the top. That's what they were showing. That's crazy. But are they trying to tell us something here? Look at this, y'all, because this looks a little bit suspect to me. Like, why? You know what I'm saying? I mean, take a look at this. Do you think they're pulling our leg? Because we know how these people have a funny sense of humor. I'm willing to bet space is a lot closer than we think, because 11 minutes? Are you kidding me? Get out of here. What man-made vehicle travels to space in 11 minutes and back? So what happened to NASA being the only representative of the United States to fly things into space? When did Jeff Bezos acquire the needs or the means to do this? Like I said, I believe space is a lot closer than we think, y'all, because 11 minutes, get out of here, y'all. But let me know what you guys think about this video, because like I said, things are not adding up. Like and follow for more. Let's get it. Peace in.
I think it was full of shit. It was fake. It was not accurate. It was smoke and mirrors. It was a play. It was a set. Side note, I know we just talked about the STDs, but why do spaceships look like male genitalia all the time? Or is it just me? Let me know in the comments. Let's keep going.
You see it? I mean, do you really see it? This is the patch that all of the ladies wore on their Blue Origin flight to space yesterday. You can even see their names around it: King, Sanchez, Perry. But when you flip it upside down, you see something completely different. Baphomet. That's right. This patch upside down is almost an identical outline of Baphomet, a symbol that often represents Satan. And the flames that are supposed to be coming out of the spaceship are now the flame on the head. And maybe the star is not in the middle of the forehead, but the star's right here. This isn't the first time that we have found the symbol of the Baphomet by things being mirrored or flipped upside down. Remember the King Charles painting from last year? How when you mirrored it, the middle looked like the Baphomet? Here it is in black and white. It might be easier for you to see. And now when you look at this, it's just too obvious. Let's not pretend that Katy Perry is the queen of symbolism. I had a lot of questions yesterday after the Blue Origin space flight, like why these ladies didn't have to wear helmets into space. But now I want to know about this. Is this just all a big coincidence, or is this symbol done on purpose? As always, I want to know what you think about all of this down below.
I don't believe in coincidences. So y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments, though.
You've probably heard the conspiracy theory that the royal family killed Princess Diana but don't know where it came from, so here's the full tea on the rumor. First of all, just months before her death, Princess Diana wrote a note that said that she thinks her husband, now King Charles, is planning to kill her with a staged car accident. Shortly after their wedding, the royal families decided that they did not like Diana. She was disobedient, didn't have the vernacular that they did, and they didn't want her to be the future queen. Charles fell out of love with her and would degrade her publicly, often leading Diana to attempt to unalive herself. He cheated on her with Camilla, who is now the queen consort, and he could not marry Camilla while Diana was still alive due to palace rules. He needed to clear the way, and on August 31st, 1997, Princess Diana died in a car accident while being chased by the paparazzi with 3 other people in the car. But it appeared to be no accident. Suspiciously dying with her was her new man, Egyptian film producer Dodi Al-Fayed, who she was rumored to be pregnant with his child. His dad literally said that he is without a shadow of a doubt in his mind that his son was murdered because they allegedly didn't like his background and the fact that he's Muslim and didn't want him to be the stepdad to the future king. This wouldn't be a surprise if he was murdered because Diana literally said and thinks that the man that she loved before him, Barry, who also died in a suspicious car accident, was knocked off by the royal family. Even though the driver died too, people think that he was in on it, but he was set up. He thought the crash was going to happen from the back of the car, killing Diana and her man in the back. But a lot of witnesses saw a very bright flash blinding him right when he entered the tunnel, caused him to lose control and crash and die. He died with a brand new hundreds of thousands of dollars in his bank account that they think he was paid to do this. Diana's family thinks it was a setup too because she wasn't wearing her seatbelt, but they think they broke it so she couldn't. The ambulance got to the hospital over an hour after they picked her up, but they were only 3 miles away. And they allegedly illegally embalmed her body way too early so no one can do tests on what happened. Before I show you the craziest piece of evidence, make sure you follow so you finally know the craziest conspiracy theories about each of these celebrities and request who you want to see next. The craziest thing is that Queen Elizabeth kept smiling during her funeral.
What if I told you one woman accidentally cursed the royal families of Europe with a disease that caused kings, princes and emperors to bleed to death? Meet Queen Victoria, the OG patient 0 of royal inbreeding's deadliest secret haemophilia. Victoria had 9 kids with her cousin, Prince Albert, and thanks to centuries of cousin-on-cousin action, their kids married into almost every royal family in Europe. Spain, Russia, Germany, they all got a little dose of Victoria's faulty bloodline. Her grandson, Tsarevich Alexei of Russia, couldn't even get a paper cut without almost bleeding to death, which helped spark the Russian Revolution. And Prince Alfonso of Asturias, led to death from a minor car accident. Inbreeding kept the power in the family, but also kept the gene pool looking like a kiddie pool.
Ew. But the Rothschilds did say they like to keep it in the family, though. So it just seems like it's just what they do.
We should talk about that thing with Princess Kate.
Yeah. So have you seen Rosemary's Baby?
I have seen that movie.
Basically, there's a chick, she gets pregnant, they switch her doctor. The doctor ends up being someone who's grooming her. He's part of a satanic cult, and he takes her child, says it's been stillborn, but is actually taking the child and is now using it as part of this satanic ritual cult. So that is the boiled down thesis of the film. When Princess Kate presented her child to the world, she wore the exact same dress as the mother.
Like the exact same dress.
The exact same dress.
Are we?
Should I say it too?
The exact same dress! It's weird though, man.
weird.
She still hasn't popped up.
No.
Yeah, I mean, she has cancer though, we think, right?
I don't know which one I prefer, that she's telling the truth or that this is true. And there's like, there's a cult baby running around.
I don't want a cult baby.
What y'all think in the comments? But that was the same dress, and I do remember Rosemary's Baby.
But a lot of men my age are steeped in a toxic masculinity and have been raised in a culture where there is a particular way that a relationship looks. And anything that starts to smell of that for me, I did enough of it where I was controlled and felt like I was a possession or whatever those things were, or prize I have no interest in it, and I will not do it again.
I'm sorry.
No.
So supposedly she only dates younger men. I have something to say about that. To each his own. But I know plenty of older dudes, older than me, my age, that be with the shits and still be with the game. So I don't think that dating younger is the answer. I don't think that dating older is the answer. I don't really think there is an answer. You know what I mean? I just know that there's older ones with game too, and then there's younger ones with game. So does it? But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. Let me know. So guys, we've reached the end of this long ass video. I told y'all it was gonna be long. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope you guys got a lot out of it. I tried my best to get it shorter, but I couldn't, because I couldn't just take stuff out, because I just I have to have that. But I think it was very informative. It was a lot. I'm gonna start breaking my videos up again in shorts too, because I haven't been doing that. It's just be a lot of work, and I'll be having other stuff going on. But nevertheless, I'm going to start doing that again. But yeah, today's video was a lot. Y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments. And of course, as always, like I tell you guys, do your own research. Don't take my word. Don't take any other content creators' word. Go and do your own research. I'm just here to just put a little bug in and let you know something, let you know how I feel, let you know what I've seen, and you go and figure it out on your own. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed our time today. It was long, it was fun. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed it. And until we meet again, which is soon, because I'm back on my schedule now. So we'll be soon. I will see you guys again. And until then, bye.